Your posture is the reason you're stressed. We're gonna talk about what even is good posture, why it matters, and at the end, what you can do to improve it.
First of all, no, I'm not just gonna tell you to stick your chest out and pull your shoulders back like your mom probably did when you were a kid. We gotta start with what even is good posture. Now, some people claim that posture doesn't matter. They cite studies that show that whatever posture you sit in normally doesn't affect pain.
And this is true, pain only really comes when you are locked in to that posture.
But even in that case, if you want to be as strong as possible and lift as much weight as possible, stacking your joints is still a better posture. You just don't want to be locked into that. Back to the main point. How does posture equal stress? Even if you don't have pain from your posture, if you are stuck, overextended, or overflexed, you likely can't breathe into your diaphragm.
Your diaphragm is the muscle that actually lets your lungs expand and take in air.
Problem is that due to imbalances in posture, most of us can't breathe into this, leading to, in the short term, neck pain, headaches, shoulder tightness, all from breathing through our chest. Much worse than that is that this shallow breathing keeps you in a constant low-level state of anxiety and stress that builds up over time and unknowingly becomes your default. This causes a lower immune system, longer healing times from an impaired lymphatic system, brain fog and fatigue from your brain not getting in enough oxygen, and down the line, potentially panic attacks and anxiety attacks from being in this constant state of fight or flight. I mean, just think about it. If you wanted to stress yourself out right now, all you'd have to do would be just hyperventilate. And on the other end, if you think about someone when they're sleeping, what's their breathing like? Assuming they don't snore or anything, it's slow, it's deep, it's through the belly. Here's a list of symptoms that come with not being able to breathe. Now let's flip that. If you're constantly breathing in through your diaphragm, as you're supposed to be on a regular basis, this puts you into rest and digest. Here, we lower the effects of cortisol, recover from exercise and activity, have a lower heart rate and blood pressure, and we actually feel calm and free from anxiety. Not to mention, there's a growing body of evidence showing the connection and correlation between proper breathing, IQ, memory, and the ability to learn. So even if we took away the strength and pain component of posture, it should be super obvious at this point that posture is very, very important to us. So then, how do we find the right posture for you and then keep it?
Again, posture is relative. Much more important than that, you should be able to get in and out of it with enough flexibility and strength. A nice test you can try to find whatever posture is best for you in breathing. You can do it either standing or on the ground. Try to take in the deepest breath you can take all the way to the bottom of your stomach, like if someone's gonna shove you underwater. But you're gonna do it hunched over. Notice how hard that is. Notice how much effort that takes, and you can't send the breath to the bottom of your belly. Now do it again, but this time upright and let your body move. See how much more effortless that is, and for some of you guys, you might find that you actually get pulled naturally into a more upright position from where your default is.
With that, that shows us the first thing getting in the way of your breathing: gravity. You can take a look at older people that often don't have the strength or mobility to fight the forward pull of gravity. You're always fighting gravity 24/7, every day until the day you die. And this is a fight that has been getting worse and worse as we spend more time sitting on computers, driving phones, looking at our phone. I said driving phones. Driving cars and then looking at our phones all day. All of these things put us further into that position. And also, from people that go to the gym, this is something I was super guilty of for a very long time. A lot of guys like showing off our show muscles, our mirror muscles, the things you see right in front of you, right? Like our chest, our front delts, our biceps, all these muscles. When you strengthen them a lot or you go to flex them, what's the posture you take? So what that means is that we want to open our body instead. One of the main exercises I use to open up for a lot of my clients who have mobility issues is trap 3 raises. With that, we can add in other exercises like face pulls, rows, lat pullovers, both cable and dumbbell, heavy kettlebell swings. All of these do a really great job of strengthening the muscles that keep us in a good posture. But that's not enough. I have to deal with tight shoulders and a spine and rib cage that doesn't move.
The best way to deal with this is with hanging. I will never ever shut up about hanging and its million benefits,
which there'll be a full video on soon. Comment down below if you want that sooner. For our cause, we're using it to get a deep stretch in the back chest and the shoulders to open up our usually very tight lateral fascia line, which then lets us open up our rib cages and expand as we take deep breaths in. If your grip keeps giving out, you can either buy special rib straps, but what I recommend doing to work your way up to that is have your feet touch the floor, try to take as little pressure as possible, and then let the weight of your hips pry your spine apart. You want to work your way up to a minute, but start with whatever variation and whatever amount of pressure lets you go for a full 30 seconds. You gotta focus on breathing full into your lower belly and your low back. Loud, deep nose inhale, pulling straight back, and a deep, longer than your inhale, exhale. Yeah, it's gonna feel a bit weird breathing so loudly, but I promise you, after you see how good this feels, you will not care. From there, you're gonna wanna look at strengthening your neck, with neck isometrics to make sure it lines up well with your shoulders and your hips. Then it's a similar process with the lower body. And it's very important to deal with the lower body. But it's a lot more complicated and a lot more individual that I can go over in this video. Let me know if you want to see a full video on that. For now, just know that if your base, if your foundation is messed up, everything else up the chain gets affected and could get thrown off. Adding these into your routines will not just improve your stress and help you breathe better, but also it'll give you a nice little bonus to your shoulders and to your back.
If you got some value from this video, subscribe and send over to somebody who's got awful stress or is dealing with bad posture.
Message me on Instagram if you have any questions and for more fitness content, and comment down below if you use any of these in your routine already.